Do I forgive my mum? What the fuck?
I think family is very important. If you can at least try to have some kind of communication between you and your mother, I think that's a very important thing.
I think it's a very subjective situation though, because like when you have an abusive person in your life, it's really, really hard to keep amends with them. So I think it does depend too, like, have you tried before?
Do I remember,
like what
do I mend my relationship with my abusive mother? Fuck no. No. That shit's gonna be playing on your mind every time.
What is the situation like? Yeah.
Yeah.
My mom has terminal brain cancer. I
Sorry?
feel like I'm running out of time.
If that changed your decision, you guys are welcome to switch sides.
Everyone's saying yes. You should amend. I don't know. It really depends if she's still like that though. If she's still like that, no. No.
There we go.
I just wouldn't want you to regret. I've had the same type of thought, should I cut someone out of my life? But then I don't want to hold this anger and resentment for this person and die with this feeling.
I actually did experience that. My mother did pass of cancer, and I did not have a good relationship with her the majority of my life. I did not get her very long, but at least the last few years that we did have, we were able to have open conversations and me hear her perspective for the first time ever. And it gave me a very different view on things because as parents, I am a mother of 5. We do the best we can with what we have at the moment. To know I loved her, I knew she loved me, completely changed everything when she did pass on, which was 10 years ago.
If she generally doesn't love you.
I was raised in a cult-like religious community where my abuse occurred. Due to my mother's religious conditioning, she swept my abuse under the rug.
You
Wait,
guys
what?
have another chance to switch sides if you feel compelled to.
So she thought it was right to do it. If she's conditioned like that, she's not gonna think any other way.
And that could have affected her mom. And maybe the cult was like encouraging to act like it didn't happen.
When parents show stress around a child, that kid will like pick up on the stress. And maybe this was her attempt to maybe make it not hurt as bad, you know? And like, it's not the right thing to do, but maybe this was kind of her way of dealing with it.
Why are you making excuses for an abusive mother? I understand your condition, but still like.
I would just like to add though, attempting to mend the relationship does not excuse the behavior.
Definitely.
Right.
It's more about understanding the context and trying to seek closure for yourself.
Exactly.
In her case,
If she's conditioned, she's gonna only think that way. So how are you gonna get any closure? Because she's always gonna think that way. She's never gonna admit that she.
A pastor of my church coerced and groomed me. She was married, I babysat his children.
She Mormon?
My abuse caused me to lose my community. When I had gotten strong enough to potentially...
Jesus. Groomed by her priest and abused by her mum's crazy. Man.
Try and bring it to light, my mom did have evidence of the abuse and she chose to destroy it.
That's disgusting. That's disgusting. What a prick.
How many times have you tried to mend this relationship?
She's a prick.
Probably for my whole life. My last contact with her...
Bro, I can't lie, yeah. When it comes to the point you're trying to mend your relationship for your whole you're taking your whole entire life to do that. Bro, just move on at this point. She clearly doesn't care enough to like... Her mum clearly doesn't care enough to mend her relationship with her own daughter. So just fuck that, bro. I understand she's your mum, but like, bro, she's dying, but like... Bro, if you've been doing it your whole life, trying to get close to her, start mending it, and she's not, like... And the excuse is now she's dying. She's still... I feel like she still won't be able to mend it.
Was in April.
And then she's gonna...
I flew states away to be with her, and she walked out of a room I was in, and that was how we said goodbye that day.
Yeah, she
I
clearly
lived a
doesn't
pretty
care.
gaslit existence, and so I wasn't always aware of the abuse I lived in. It's only been the last decade or so that I have learned about myself and what is right and normal.
She clearly doesn't care
Sorry.
enough.
It's okay.
You do not have to apologize for being a human being.
For your personal peace and for you to find
Just
forgiveness,
move on.
do you think that that requires a mended relationship with your
Because
mom?
you've clearly been doing it.
At the time of her diagnosis, she had a 1% chance to live the next 5 years. It's been 1 year. With her diagnosis, it's clear to me that she's willing
Terminal,
to
damn.
die with this.
Yeah,
And
she
that
doesn't
is so
care.
extreme to me. She has asked me questions.
So
and I
how?
still think
This is what I'm talking about. Like, if she's gonna die on the thought of saying that everything she done was right, you're not gonna be able to change the fact that she thought that it was all right, and you're not gonna mend any relationship. She doesn't care. She was indoctrinated as a child. She was, you get me, brought up like that. She was infused. That was like drilled into her brain from young, and she can't change, and she is willing to die on it. So there's no point of, you get me, like mending that shit. Just move on, like, you get me. I'll be on no. What the hell?
of his children. She's befriended his ex-wife.
She
who was
doesn't
the wife
care.
He was married to when
Just let her
all
die
of this happened.
at this point.
And it feels really extreme. It feels bad.
She's an
to
extremist.
know that my mother is suffering and to not be able to comfort her in the way that I wish. But in order to do that, it really feels like I'm letting myself down. And I'm the only one that's going to stand up for myself. There's nobody else. And so to appease her death so she can have a peaceful death when my life has been so tumultuous.
She's a selfish bitch. That's what she is. Her mum. She's a prick. She's a disgusting mother. Yeah, no.
It's tough.
No. No.
It's
You're literally making your
Your
life
mother
hell.
doesn't
Just
deserve to have that peace. And I feel like mending that relationship is going to give her
a fact.
peace. And you're not
Fact.
going to have that because you've had a traumatic life.
I totally understand the boundaries. I agree with all of your points, but this is your mother. Things
I
don't
don't
just
give a
go away
fuck.
over time. I think that's the biggest lie. Time heals things. No, it does not. You addressing your things heals things. And so
you keep saying addressing. She clearly doesn't want to address it. The mum, she doesn't care. So why do you keep saying addressing? Like, what the fuck?
you have an opportunity
She literally walked out of the room like the last time that she visited. Like,
to do that, and she doesn't have much time left to.
Sorry
doesn't
to kind of
care.
counteract
She
the
doesn't
whole
care.
thing where it's like,
She
it's your
doesn't care.
mom, like blood only goes so far, and her being blood related to you doesn't excuse everything that she's done.
I kind of disagree a little bit. I think it definitely doesn't excuse. If she doesn't want to take accountability, that's on her, right? That's not your problem anymore. But for your own sake and for your own peace of mind, I think it's really important that you really give it your all, especially in this crucial time that you have.
I was wondering, what do you need in this moment to feel like safe and secure?
I don't know. I would like validation. I would like to feel loved. I would like to feel a part of something.
Do you currently have a support system? And if so, what does that look like for you?
That's been really hard. That's been a trending struggle in my life because I feel like I've carried around feeling like an outcast. I feel like I've been chosen over and that I am not worth even my mother's care or concern. So finding community with that on my back has been a very big deal. I do have a spouse and I do have a 6-year-old son. And they're the best things in my life.
jury advice.
It just seems like it's at a point where she's tried everything.
Her mother must have value because she wouldn't be doing all this.
I think she's actually found her like pieces. If her mom wasn't sick, I don't think she would be in this situation right now. The diagnosis brought up a lot of pent up anger inside of her that she now wants to put out.
If her mother dies and looks back and says, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, I think that's gonna end up eating her even worse.
The ground zero should be, what does she want?
Yeah.
Exactly. What does she want? What does she need?
We all agree that it is better to regret doing something than not doing something. You never know what it's like when someone's on their deathbed. And so we just feel like keeping the door open is better than keeping the door closed.
Okay.
You were listening to what you stated that you wanted. You wanted to feel loved and you wanted validation.
You
can
already
achieve
have that.
those things without mending the relationship through support systems, finding therapy, finding a community. You have the love from your family on your side. So for that reason, we said you should not mend it.
She's
Have
gonna
you made your
she's gonna do no. She's gonna do no.
Yes.
She's gonna do no. It's gonna be no. 100. Otherwise you're gonna be living in doubt your whole entire life. Well done. Good choice.
Like you guys said, I can offer myself the things that I need moving forward. And
Good choice.
mending
Told
the
you.
relationship
Told you,
takes
chat.
a lot of energy and takes me back to a lot of places that I've already moved through. Both boxes
decision.
really suck for me. And I like the possibilities in this box more.
Good.
On
Beautiful.
the show,
She's
that
gonna
was
be-
the first time I've ever talked about it. I came away feeling like maybe I had a powerless attitude towards it, and it didn't have to be that way. You know, I have spoken to pretty much everyone now about this situation. So I decided to get in contact with law enforcement and have a conversation with the detective, just going over what happened to me.
Was there any part of you that wanted to reach out to your mom when you did reach out to law enforcement?
Fuck that,
It's a
bro.
lot harder to do when interacting in real time. I find myself more thinking of writing her letters to just know that I'm expressing myself, and so I'm hoping
She's chucking that shit in the bin, bruv.
for some kind of olive branch. You know, since opening up that dialogue with the jury, I have found myself much more open to finding a middle ground.
Okay, middle. Okay. That was it. I fuck with that vid.